God, don't let me move without you. Let every breath I take be in your will, and every step I walk be led by your Spirit. I wake up this morning not just to face the day, but to surrender it fully to you. Before the sun rose, before my eyes opened, before thoughts began to rush through my mind, you were already here. You were already working. You were already holding me. And I know deep in my soul that if I go ahead of you, if I move without waiting on you, I will end up lost, even in familiar places. You are not just a God of moments. You are the God of movements. I don't want to step into anything you haven't ordered. I don't want to run ahead in excitement or fall behind in fear. I want to move only when you say move. Just as the Israelites in the wilderness followed the cloud by day and the fire by night, I want to follow you. I want to move only when your presence goes before me. If your presence does not go with us, do not send us up from here. Exodus 33:15. That's the cry of my heart. That's the longing of my soul. Today, Lord, I ask not for clarity, not for control, not even for comfort. I ask for your guidance. I ask to hear your whisper louder than the noise of my thoughts. I ask for divine interruption. If my path is not aligned with your purpose, stop me. Close the door, block the road. Let my frustration be the barrier you place to protect me from moving in the wrong direction. Let my delays be divine. Let my disappointments be detours. Let every no I receive today be a gift from your hand, guiding me back to your yes. Sometimes I want things so badly, Lord. I want answers. I want progress. I want results. I want to go faster. But you remind me that fast doesn't always mean faithful, and movement doesn't always mean momentum. Sometimes the holiest thing I can do is be still, and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10. So this morning, I quiet my heart. I silence my own ambitions. I release the plans I made without you in mind. I let go of timelines, of expectations, of everything I thought should happen by now, and instead I make room for you. I remember how Abraham moved only when you called him. He left everything he knew and followed a voice. He didn't need a map. He just needed obedience. And you led him to a promise. I remember how Moses refused to lead without you, how he knew that without your presence, even the promised land wasn't worth it. That's where I want to be, not in a land of blessing without you, but in the wilderness with you, if that's where your presence is. Because where you are, there is peace. Where you are, there is purpose. God, I confess that sometimes I think, I know best. I think I can manage. I think I've got it under control. But every time I've moved ahead of you, I've ended up tired, confused, anxious. I've built things that didn't last. I've opened doors that led to dead ends. I've forced situations that brought nothing but sorrow. And still you were faithful. Still you met me in the wreckage. Still you redirected my steps. So now I say, not my will, but yours be done. Let this morning prayer not be just a moment, but a foundation. Let it be the breath that fills my lungs. Before I speak, the thought that leads before I act. I don't want to just invite you into my plans. I want you to make the plan. I don't want to use prayer as a stamp of approval. I want prayer to be the architect of my day. You are not my last resort. You are my first move. Even when the way is unclear, even when the path is narrow, even when I'm afraid, if you are there, I will go. And if you are not, I will wait. No matter how long it takes, I remember how David waited years to become king, even after he was anointed. He could have taken shortcuts. He could have made it happen. But he trusted your timing. Wait for the Lord, be strong and take heart and wait for the Lord. Psalm 27:14. That's what I want today. Strength to wait, courage to trust, eyes to see beyond what's in front of me. Lord, sometimes my fear isn't that you won't move. It's that I won't recognize it when you do. So open my eyes. Let me not miss the gentle nudges, the quiet shifts, the divine appointments hidden in ordinary moments. Let me notice when you close one door and open another. Let me not grieve over the past so much that I miss the miracle of the present. Help me to recognize your fingerprints even when I don't see your face. Help me to walk by faith, not by sight. 2 Corinthians 5:7. There have been days I've wandered, days I've stumbled, days I've tried to figure it out on my own. But not today. Today I surrender, not just with words, but with will, with posture, with decisions. I surrender the text messages I send, the emails I write, the meetings I attend, the conversations I have. Let every part of me move in rhythm with you. Let every heartbeat echo trust. Let every step be sacred. You are the lamp to my feet and the light to my path, Psalm 119, 105. Even if you only show me one step at a time, that is enough. I don't need the full picture. I just need you. I don't need to understand the destination. I just need to walk with the one who knows the way. Even if the road winds through shadows, even if it leads through valleys, even if it feels like I'm standing still, if you are guiding, then I am growing. Teach me to listen more than I speak. Teach me to seek more than I strive. Let my doing flow from being with you. Let my movement be ministry, not performance. Let my obedience be out of love, not pressure. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight. Proverbs 3, 5-6. That's the truth I cling to. That's the promise I hold. There are things ahead I can't see, decisions I'll have to make, moments that will test me. But I don't need to fear the future when I'm following the shepherd. You lead me beside still waters. You restore my soul. You guide me along the right paths for your name's sake, Psalm 23. So I start this day with a declaration. I will not move without you. I will not rush what you are still refining. I will not chase what you haven't assigned. Let me be so. Close to you that I recognize the difference between a good idea and a God idea. Let me choose peace over pressure, purpose over popularity, obedience over opportunity. Because if I gain the world but lose your voice, I've lost everything. I don't want to just look successful. I want to live surrendered. I don't want to just go places. I want to be sent. And in every delay, I will find devotion. In every detour, I will choose discipline. In every unanswered question, I will root myself deeper in your word. Because the answers I seek are found not in outcomes, but in intimacy with you. Let my prayers today not be demands, but dialogues. Let them not be monologues, but moments of listening. Your sheep know your voice, John 10:27, and I want to know it more clearly than ever before. God, I come back to you with hands open and heart surrendered. I do not want to take a single step without your blessing, without your breath filling my spirit, without your voice guiding my soul. I remember how you led Joshua into the unknown, across the Jordan River, into a land flowing with promise but filled with battles. You did not promise an easy path, but you promised your presence. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Joshua 1:9. Let that be the anchor of my soul today, not the absence of fear, but the assurance of your nearness. There will be moments today when fear tries to shout louder than faith. Moments when doubt knocks harder than trust. Moments when my flesh will want to move ahead without waiting. But even then, remind me that waiting on you is not wasting time. It is weaving my heart into yours. It is becoming stronger in the unseen places. It is learning that before you do something through me, you always want to do something in me. Sometimes the waiting feels like a wilderness. It feels barren, it feels silent. But you are not absent in the silence. You are shaping me there. You are stretching my trust. You are deepening my roots. Just like you prepared David in the field, Moses in the desert, Joseph in the prison. You are preparing me right now. And preparation always comes before promotion in your kingdom. Growth always comes before glory. So I will not despise the small beginnings, the hidden seasons, the unseen obedience. Do not despise these small beginnings, for the Lord rejoices to see the work begin. Zechariah 4:10. God, keep me sensitive to your spirit today. Let me not get so busy doing things for you that I forget to simply be with you. Let me not be so distracted by the tasks that I miss the treasure of your presence. Let my morning prayer not end when I say amen, but continue with every breath, every thought, every action. Let my life become a living prayer, a walking testimony of what it means to be led by you. I pray for discernment today, Father. There are many voices vying for my attention. Voices of fear, voices of comparison, voices of pride, voices of urgency. Teach me to discern your voice above them all. Let your word be the tuning fork for my soul. Let your promises be the lens through which I see every situation. When opportunities arise, let me pause and ask, is this from you, Lord? When obstacles appear, let me kneel and say, teach me through this, Lord. When uncertainty clouds my mind, let me sit still and trust that you are still on the throne. I know that your ways are higher than my ways, and your thoughts higher than my thoughts. Isaiah 55:8-9. So even when things don't make sense to me, I choose to trust. Even when doors close, I will praise you. Even when answers are delayed, I will worship you because you are a good Father. You are a perfect leader. You are faithful even when I cannot see the full picture. Help me, Lord, to embrace the slow seasons, to celebrate the small victories, to find you in the mundane moments. Because you are not just in the mountaintop miracles, you are in the daily manna. You are in the small conversations, the unexpected kindness, the quiet nudges to turn left instead of right. You are in the ordinary, making it holy. You are in the everyday, inviting me into eternity. Teach me to pray without ceasing. 1 Thessalonians 5:17, to stay connected to you not just in emergencies but in every heartbeat. Let prayer be my first instinct, not my last resort. Let worship be my default setting, not just my Sunday ritual. Let gratitude be my posture, even when gratitude feels hard to find. Lord, I know that moving without you is dangerous. I know that rushing ahead leads to ruin. I know that impatience births Ishmaels when you had planned Isaac's, Genesis 16:21. So today I lay down my impatience. I lay down my agenda. I lay down my need to control. I lay down my worries about how and when and where. And I pick up trust, I pick up faith, I pick up peace. I pick up hope. I remember, Father, how Peter stepped out of the boat and walked on water because his eyes were on you. But when he looked at the wind and the waves, he began to sink. Matthew 14:28-31. Help me to keep my eyes on you, Jesus, not on the storms, not on the obstacles, not on the opinions of others, but on you. Because as long as my gaze is locked on you, I can do the impossible. I can walk in places that would normally cause me to sink. I can move in the miraculous, Lord. If I take a step today, let it be a step of faith, not fear. If I speak today, let it be words of life, not doubt. If I act today, let it be in obedience, not ambition. I want every part of me to reflect that I am following a Savior who walked the path of surrender all the way to the cross. You didn't move without the Father's will. You said, not my will, but yours be done. Luke 22:42. Teach me to pray that same prayer, not just with my lips but with my life. Even when I'm tempted to sprint, teach me to stroll at the pace of grace. Even when the world around me is shouting for faster, bigger, better, teach me that your pace is patient, that your kingdom often grows like a mustard seed, small and slow and almost invisible at first. Matthew 13:31-32. But it becomes mighty, it becomes unstoppable, it becomes a shelter for others. And that's the kind of life I want to live, a life rooted in you, built by you, growing according to your timetable, not mine. Father, some days the burden feels heavy, the unknowns feel overwhelming, the waiting feels endless. But your word says, come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest, Matthew 11:28. So I come, weary but willing, burdened but believing, empty but expectant. I come to lay it all at your feet. I come to exchange my weakness for your strength, my confusion for your clarity, my restlessness for your peace. I refuse to strive for what can only be received. I refuse to chase after what you have already prepared in advance for me. I refuse to fight battles that are not mine to fight. You said, the Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still, Haydn, Exodus 14:14. So today I choose stillness over striving. I choose worship over worry. I choose presence over performance. Lord, ignite a deeper hunger in me, not for answers but for you, not for blessings but for intimacy. not for success but for surrender. Let me seek your face more than your hand. Let me want you more than I want what you can give. Because you are the prize, you are the portion, you are the treasure hidden in the field, worth selling everything else to gain. Matthew 13:44. If moving means missing you, I don't want it. If success means separation from you, I don't want it. If open doors mean closed hearts, I don't want it. I would rather stay in the valley with you than stand on the mountain without you. I would rather walk the long road with you than sprint the shortcut alone, because at the end of the day, what matters most is not where I end up, but who I walked with to get there. And you, Jesus, are worth every step, every wait, every prayer, every tear, every sacrifice. You are worth it all. You are the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. Revelation 22:13. You see the story from start to finish, and you hold every chapter in your hands. So I can trust you with today. I can trust you with tomorrow. I can trust you with forever. So now, Lord, I come to this final portion of my morning prayer, not as an ending, but as a continuation of the life I want to live every hour, every minute, every second in step with you. Let this final cry be one of total surrender, a heart posture that says, wherever you lead, I will follow. No hesitation, no conditions, no compromise, just complete trust, just raw faith, just a soul anchored in your presence, and a spirit willing to move only at your command. I don't want to live on yesterday's bread. I don't want to rely on old instructions. I don't want to move with outdated direction. I need fresh manna today. I need your word to fall like dew upon my heart. I need the voice that spoke galaxies into existence to speak again, to whisper, to guide, to comfort, to correct. Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening. 1 Samuel 3:10. And let my ears be so in tune with you that I recognize your leading even in the silence, even in the waiting, even in the unknown. You are not a God of confusion, but of peace. 1 Corinthians 14:33. So I silence every inner voice of anxiety, every external voice of pressure, every deceptive voice of distraction. I shut the door to fear. I shut the door to comparison. I shut the door to self-doubt. And I open the door wide to you, Holy Spirit. Fill every empty space. Illuminate every dark place. Take every broken piece and make it beautiful by your grace. Let my life be a dwelling place for your glory. Not just a temporary visit, not just a weekend service, but a daily habitation. Come and make your home in me. Teach me to walk in step with you, like Enoch, who walked with God until he was no more because you took him. Genesis 5:24. Let my rhythm be your rhythm. Let my priorities be your priorities. Let my desires be shaped by your heart. And when the world tries to pull me in 100 directions, pull me back to the narrow path, the path that requires sacrifice. The path that isn't always popular, the path that calls me deeper. Enter through the narrow gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the road that leads to destruction, and many enter through it. But small is the gate and narrow the road that leads to life. Matthew 7:13-14. I don't want the wide road, I don't want the easy way. I want the way that leads to life, even if it's lonely, even if it's slow, even if it costs me everything. Because what would it profit me to gain the whole world and lose my soul? Mark 8:36. What would it mean if I reached every milestone, achieved every dream, checked every box, but lost the voice of the one who called me? Keep me from that, Lord. Don't let me be deceived by applause. Don't let me be blinded by progress. Don't let me confuse movement with purpose. I want to be centered in you, even if it means being still for a season. I want to be rooted in you, even if it means being hidden while you work beneath the surface. I trust you in the slow. I trust you in the stillness. I trust you in the stretching. I trust you when the path winds, when the fog settles in, when the next step is unclear. Because faith isn't needing to see the way. Faith is knowing who walks with me on the way. And you, Lord, never leave, you never forsake, you never fail. The Lord himself goes before you and will be with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. Deuteronomy 31:8. That is your promise. That is my foundation. So I declare again, God, don't let It's me move without you. Even if everything around me tells me to go, if you haven't spoken, I will wait. Even if the pressure to act feels unbearable, if you haven't given peace, I will stay still. Because peace is not the absence of noise, but the presence of your spirit. And when you say go, even if it terrifies me, even if it looks impossible, even if it leads into the unknown, I will go. Because where you go, there is provision. Where you go, there is purpose. Where you go, there is power. Let me walk like Jesus walked, slowly, intentionally, obediently. He never rushed. He never panicked. He never chased fame. He moved at the pace of the Father's will. He healed when you said heal. He taught when you said teach. He withdrew when you said rest. Even to the cross, he walked in surrender, not striving. And I want to be like him. Let his life be my example, his love be my motivation, his spirit be my strength. I pray now for divine interruptions. If I'm headed in the wrong direction, disrupt me. If I'm pursuing something you didn't give, me shut it down. If I'm clinging to things you're trying to release, pry my hands open. Let discomfort be the doorway to realignment. Let conviction be the gift that leads me back. Let every closed door be a whisper of grace, not punishment. Because I trust that you are good, even when you say no. I trust that you are kind, even when you say wait. I trust that you are wise, even when you remain silent. And I know, Lord, that if I keep my eyes on you, you will never lead me astray. Your word is a lamp to my feet, not a spotlight into the future. I may not see the whole staircase, but I will take the next step if you're lighting the way. I will walk into meetings, decisions, conversations, dreams, and unknowns with holy confidence, not in myself but in you. Because you are not just beside me, you are within me. You are not just watching, you are working. You are not just planning, you are preparing me for what's ahead. Help me to trust in your yes and rest in your no. Help me to wait without growing weary. Help me to believe without needing evidence. Because faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen, Hebrews 11:1. Let my faith today be bold. Let it be unwavering. Let it be rooted in eternity. Father, remind me that you are not in a rush. You are not anxious. You are not surprised by delays. You are not shaken by obstacles. You are sovereign over time, over seasons, over every outcome. So I surrender this moment. I surrender this hour. I surrender this entire day to you. Lead me step by step, thought by thought, decision by decision. Let everything I do today begin in prayer, be fueled by faith, and finish with praise. Let me wake up tomorrow knowing I walked in obedience today. Not perfection, not performance, but surrender. Let me look back and see your fingerprints on every part of my journey. Let my life be a story that only you could write. Thank you for being a God who walks with me, a God who speaks, a God who guides, a God who sees beyond what I see and still chooses to lead with love. I trust you, Jesus, more than my plans, more than my logic, more than my fears. I trust your timing. I trust your wisdom. I trust your heart. So once more from the depths of my soul I say, God, don't let me move without you. Lead every step, guard every decision, shepherd every desire. Be the author of my morning, the composer of my afternoon, the keeper of my night. Let my whole life echo this one holy desire to follow you always. Amen.